but it's there, like you're aware of it.
No.
Not at all.
I am
That's the
now,
first time I've
I'm
ever
now
heard of it.
aware of it.
Okay, well, there's a show called The Watcher. It's like a horror show or whatever. It's based, quote unquote, based on real events. It took place like 2 miles from where I live.
Oh.
And it's Westfield, New Jersey, which is also where the guy who created the Addams Family is from.
Hmm.
So they have like they have like an Addams Family festival every year and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
You realise I live in England, the spookiest country, because we're so fucking old. We just got ghosts hanging around everywhere.
yeah, you're probably right. And you guys executed a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Do you hear about the time that we fucking hung a monkey?
Hung a monkey.
Yeah. So
we should have already been recording.
we are. Don't worry. So there was in Hartlepool, a ship like crashed and like off the shore, and like there was no survivor. This was during the Napoleonic War, and a baboon was the only survivor of this crashed ship, and it was wearing full French army regalia. And the people of Hartlepool, the commoners of Hartlepool, never saw a Frenchman before in their lives, so they just thought, oh, this guy must be French, so they just hung him. And to this day, we call people from Hartlepool monkey hangers.
What's the name of the town?
Hartlepool.
Monkey.
We should be really lucky that this past warfare didn't take place in England, because after Ned set it free, they might have hung the monkey.
That's gonna have to be like our new lingo. It's like, man, Ned really hung the monkey on that one.
No.
It occurs to me that it occurs to me that could be taken a wrong way, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Do not.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I already have to deal with Gator knowing my cringy, horrible past. I am not
talk about it.
You voluntarily showed him, so I mean that's on you.
Yeah. Do you know?
All right,
do you know the next warfare card I make? That's going to be your nickname on it.
Oh.
No.
Wait.
This has made me okay with warfare dying.
Triplets born, the throne awaits. A seer warns of a deadly pace. Give up your children, separate. Bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found. The children grow, learn what's right. Leaders of the freedom fight. They seek their mother, she knows they do. Is it time? If she only knew. Will the prophecy come true? Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground.
I long for my children, but I have to wait. To act too soon could seal their fate.
They made a vow their mother will be found. Sonic Underground.
Hey, everybody! Once again, here to entertain and possibly offend you is the brand new XWF podcast hosted by none other than yours truly, your best friend and potential Loverboy Vinny Lane. I'm here as always with my amigos, Gator from across the pond in jolly old England, where I heard an interesting story recently that Ned really loved, but we'll find out about that later. Gator, say hello.
Oh, hello. I am president of the Lexi Gold fan club.
President?
Yes.
I didn't know. Did you win an election or?
Yeah. We had a vote. Me and Ned.
That's fair. Okay. Well, speaking of Ned, he's also here as always. He's having some issues, I think, working out his sexuality with Sonic the Hedgehog. But other than that, he's all right. How you doing, Ned?
Well, as vice president of the Lexi Gold fan club, I am inclined to tell you that no, my sexuality is very, very structured, and yes, it is Sonic.
That's great.
Came to a conclusion on that.
Glad that Ned is firm, not only in his beliefs but in his pants also. Moving on, we have Maverick, my third favorite out of all three. How you doing today, Mav? And what are your feelings towards Sonic the Hedgehog?
Certainly not least. Anyway, I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog really needs to be kicked in the shin right about now.
Oh no.
Wow, that's just mean. I mean, he's just he just I don't know.
I've just
I
thought.
feel like we.
I'm sorry. I thought of a great intro for this show already.
Well, don't screw it up. We don't want to hang the monkey.
Oh my god.
God
We're
damn
here
it.
to talk. We're here to talk to you today. Last time, in our last episode, we went over the upcoming Savage and Warfare cards. Those shows have now come and gone. They're up on the boards, XWF99.com. Make sure you swing by and check them out. We got a whole slate of results and upcoming Savage and Warfare matches to discuss today. So, without further ado, as the French say, and when their monkeys get hung, let's give it to Maverick and let him run us through what we saw this past Wednesday from Orlando, Florida. I'm looking forward to this one, and you know why? It's because of the opener. So let's just get to it.
Opener of the century. We are coming live from the Amway Center, Orlando, Florida, for Wednesday Night Warfare. We had 4 matches on this card. If you were not here for the last episode, I will run them by you again real quick. We had the notorious Ned K, now just Ned K apparently, going up against a literal gorilla. Once again, opener of the century. Goth versus Mercy. An IDL championship match between Elijah Copeland and Holden Ross, Madness meets Warfare. And we also had Charlie Nichols versus Finn Coon in the main event in a first blood match. So we open the show and we head backstage to start off with between Ned K and Jason Cash. Two just briefly talking out, and Cash decides to perform a little bit of social tomfoolery by heading out there and supporting the PETA protesters who are protesting against the opening match between Ned K and the literal gorilla.
Makes sense.
So-
That makes
Mhm,
sense. They
makes
probably.
sense.
I was surprised that they weren't there knocking on my office door as soon as I booked this thing.
They just
So
gotta
I mean, it
their
was
strength.
overdue.
Yeah, they had to gather up their strength, but they're there now. So we actually go out to the ring for the opener between Ned K and the literal gorilla. Ned K takes the mic and he says how he has freed the literal gorilla from captivity in order to prevent this horrific match from going to take place. And unfortunately, he freed it out onto the streets, and who knows what happens to the literal gorilla. I think we're going to be getting a status update on that real soon. But he wins the match by default.
It was a
So,
forfeit. The gorilla forfeited.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
You know,
yes.
Well, because I mean, look, I mean, if you guys are frequent subscribers to the XWF on TikTok, I mean, that gorilla was talking some shit.
Oh yeah.
It really was.
Vinny, that was you. No one is fooled. I knew it. Everybody knew it was just you,
Talking
Vinny.
about.
That's
That was a gorilla.
ridiculous.
I can't handle the fact that a gorilla was literally trash talking him and kicking his ass
That
verbally.
was a JPEG in a costume.
You
Hmm.
you can't prove
He's
any
been
of that.
angry.
First of all, those are slanderous accusations,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you should have just upped up your trash talk game and been able to compete verbally against the goddamn simian.
Exactly.
Well, clearly, this gorilla who was on the take didn't trust his own trash talking or wrestling abilities enough to face me in the ring because I was able to convince him to leave on his own accord. So all I'm saying is, Vinny, you can suck it. I win, my win, and a win for PETA, quite frankly, which I'm not entirely happy about.
Well, we'll see, because
trash
there
talk-
are a lot of animals in the zoo, my friend. So
I
you're
can't believe
you're
you're
gonna
trash
get
talking
your.
a gorilla. Can I just say, I can't believe you're trash talking a gorilla right now. They're harmless creatures. Come on, man.
I'm not trash talking. I'm trash talking the team.
Anyway, we come over to the next segment that has Goth going on the mic and calling out Atara Themus for an extreme title shot. No word has been given yet on an update between them, so who knows how that's going to go. But I think Goth could give Atara another good run for her money if the two were to come to blows again. So who knows what happens there?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's both these guys are super talented. I mean, Atara is great, Goth is great. So yeah, I could definitely see a title change happening there if and when that gets booked. So yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And speaking of Goth, we come to our next match between Goth versus Mercy to have a really fast but really back and forth one-on-one match between, that Goth manages to get backwards behind Mercy and lock in a sleeper hold, which leads to the Gothic Dream And Goth pulls off the unlikely upset and manages to submit Mercy. So really going a long way towards bringing himself to that extreme title shot.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, honestly, that's kind of an upset in my opinion. I mean, Mercy's very, very talented. I believe I picked Mercy for that win, so good job, Goth.
I think almost all of us picked Mercy to win there. So yeah, really proving us wrong there. Good job from Goth there.
Yeah. You love to see it. You love to see a competitor come in and really, prove everybody wrong, even if everybody is mostly just us.
Yeah, and I did say last time as well, like, I'd be delighted if Goth could win, and he did win, so I am delighted. So I'm happy to be proven wrong here.
So I think we all are happy to be proven wrong. So we had back outside.
Goth, I also owe Goth a special reading on the TikTok because I did say I would do the Peter Steele voice. And he reached out to me privately, excited about it. And it's still going to happen, Goth. I promise.
Oh, baby, I can't wait for that. So anyway, we come to the outside of the arena where the PETA associates are protesting to Theo Price about the gorilla matchup. And they are joined by Jason Cash, who chants, "Don't be a loser, stop the abusers." So honestly, hate to see this horrific portrayal by Jason Cash here. But eventually it all gets sorted and the PETA protesters get dispelled. As we go to our next match between Elijah Copeland and Holden Ross for the IDL Championship. And honestly, this was another really hectic back and forth match that saw some weapons being used here as Elijah Copeland was trying to use a kendo stick to get the upper hand on Holden Ross, but he manages to throw the kendo stick at Ross, who catches it, and the ref, unfortunately, at that moment, turned around, put 2 and 2 together, and DQ'd Holden Ross, so Elijah Copeland is still the IDL champion. However, Holden Ross did not take too kindly to that, and immediately proceeded to manhandle Copeland after the bell. So he's going to be licking his wounds after that horrific display, unfortunately. But yeah.
Honestly, we've got it's going to have ramifications. Elijah Copeland, folks, he's injured. We're not. He's scheduled to defend that IDL championship at the end of the month against Hide Yamazaki, and it's not looking like he's going to be physically capable of competing. So I'm going to see what kind of adjustments I got to make there after he Eddie Guerrero'd Holden Ross and did the old oopsie daisy with the kendo stick. He got himself kind of beat up.
Yeah. Talk shit, get hit, and in this case, he did some shit instead of talk shit, but you know how it goes.
I do. I live relatively close to Philadelphia, and there is an adage that they live by, which is fuck around and find out.
Yes.
So he fucked around and he found out.
Yep. So after that, we come to an interview between Pip Collins and Chris Chaos. Chris Chaos talking about how he is here to quote unquote save the XWF and is trying to get a contract back to join the XWF once again, but unfortunately, no update has been given on that end either. But Chaos says that he will be present come this upcoming Savage. Ooh, we will find out what happened there when we get to Savage. But yeah, very
Chaos, man. Good work on Chaos's part.
For sure. I mean, he is really making a name for himself once again, really getting his name back out there after coming at the end of the main event of Relentless Night 3 and, just trying his best to get his contract back, and he wants to take whatever means necessary he can to just get it back.
I do want to say it is a little distressing that the XWF is a company where it's easier for a great ape to get a contract than a human.
The gorilla was working on a per diem basis.
Okay.
He was an independent contractor. Okay, so that's obviously you don't know anything about employment law, so just stay in your lane.
Oh, fair enough. And you stay in yours, Bennett.
Oh, as the owner and your employer, I will.
As Mr. Lane.
So we come out to the ring again to lead up to our main event, and before the main event gets started, Finn Coon is the first one to come out, and he cuts a promo talking about how he wants to get back to the top, reach those heights he was capable of once again, where he main evented an XWF pay-per-view, and in order to get to that point, he has thrown out the challenge that he is going to be looking for former champion to try beating and proving himself against. And with luck and a bit of hope, he will prove that he is at those heights again and have some gold around his way. So who knows how successful he'll be in that regard, but I'm pretty sure time will tell. And we come from that.
When was he on top?
Well, he wasn't like
Last night,
Yeah.
he may have entered
Last
actually
week.
that pay-per-view against the Engineer. It was like around one of the times we had our hiatuses. That did not go as planned for Finn, unfortunately, but he still did earn that shot rightfully.
So when back to his on top ways where he loses.
Yes. Well, exceeding those heights now, but yeah, something like that. I thought this will be better on Finn, yeah? Poor Finn.
One day you guys will see I'm going to lose to the Engineer again one day. I promise you that.
Well, he's dead now, so I mean...
That's the bottom line, because Finn Coon jobbed it.
Oh, I hate this. Speaking of jobbing,
I hope he lost this match right now.
it was a very back and forth match. So the two of them headbutted each other at the same time. It was a really brutal match, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, Finn Coon slumped forward and just began bleeding, unfortunately. So he lost the match to Charlie Nichols, but it was...
So he's back on top.
Well done, Finn. You did a good job, mate.
He lost in the main event, like he always wanted to.
And a childhood dream has come true.
Oh, fucking hell.
Gator, can you please put the clip of all the characters from Neon Genesis Evangelion
Yeah,
clapping?
you got it.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Oh my god, I'm doing such a poor job here. Anyway,
So that's a pretty great episode of Warfare, in my opinion. Brief, but a lot of cool stuff on there.
Well, we are not done
a
yet
lot of
because
notable
there's-
things.
Well, there is one last segment we have to get to for after the
Oh.
main event, where Charlie Nichols was on top of Finn and trying to assault him, probably because he wants to knock the bitch-ass loser out of him. Buster Gloves comes out, Finn's opponent at Relentless Night 3. He manages to break up the confrontation between the two. Charlie Nichols heads to the back, and there is a discussion between Buster and Finn where he wants to know what the hell happened in their match at Relentless, where a mysterious third man had spoken over the PA system to say, "I quit," and make Buster Gloves lose the match. Buster blames Finn for it, but he says that he had no involvement in it, and two of them are going to have to be working together in order to figure out what's what. So that is what Warfare ends on, with a mystery set, and we come over to...
Hold on, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts just real quick, just on that Warfare. So what is the moment that stands out to you? Like, what's the highlight of this Warfare for you guys?
A gorilla being loose in Orlando.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we started off at the highest of highs,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended on a Finn Coon match. So I mean, we really need to get better at booking in the correct order.
I do agree with
feel.
that, actually.
No, but seriously though, great segments. I mean, really, really good stuff out of Goth. Really good stuff. Chris Chaos, Jason Cash. I never took Jason Cash as an activist, but that's an awesome turn for him. And just, I mean, this is just such a fun show. So I mean, you really can do a lot with very little, which is great considering the next Warfare card. Take it away, Maverick.
Yes, of course, we are coming from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Unfortunately, Finn has gone from the main event to the opener once again, so he's got a bit more work to do before he can lose in the main event again. But we have a triple threat match between Ned K, Finn Coon, and Goth. So all three men with something to prove here. Finn wants to try and actually win in the main event next time. Ned K trying to reassert himself after the Supercontinental title loss to Peter Vaughn at Relentless, and Goth obviously wanting himself to be in line for that Extreme title shot. So most certainly all three men have something to prove here. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Reassert myself. I beat a gorilla.
You didn't beat a gorilla, you let a gorilla
You
escape.
didn't even win. Like, you didn't
Yeah.
fight him.
Yeah.
Gorilla by default, the two greatest words in the English language. I don't want to hear this kind of crap.
You won how Mastermind loses. Shut up.
Oh. Oh no.
Ned has unfortunately not had a proper match that had an opening ring bell go on since Relentless, so I stand by my statement.
No,
Oh,
no,
dear.
I'm excited.
This is three guys, right? Who, I mean, whoever wins this one has to get some sort of title opportunity, right? I mean,
Yeah.
all three of these guys are doing. I mean, Finn just lost, but that's okay. I mean, he's still up there. He's got the Buster Glove stuff, which is awesome. That's going to be on the Terra Phoenix cruise show, right? Right, Finn?
Well,
Is that?
the charity event, actually, because it's in Waikiki, not on a ship this time, actually.
I keep forgetting that it should be on a boat. It was better when it was on a boat.
It was better.
But whatever.
I agree with that.
Maybe it'll be back on a boat for the next one.
It's always better on a boat. But honestly, like I feel like all three of these characters, I mean, they're really on some hot streaks. So I mean, maybe this is determining Peter Vaughn's next defense.
Who knows? Speaking of Peter Vaughn's defense in the main event, we have Peter Vaughn versus Charlie Nichols in Warfare Rules. Peter Vaughn may pick the stipulation in his first promo, but we have not heard from them yet, so who knows what the stipulation may be. We will be sure to tell you when our next podcast goes live. But
This is really cool. This is a good match. I like this matchup. Peter Vaughn is next level talent, but Charlie tends to rise to the occasion when he's up against the wall. He does really good stuff, and I know he's fiending for some Goldie. So
yes, of course.
who knows?
So, what are your predictions for the two matches, guys?
I
I
can't
will
really
say-
say anything about the first one.
Yeah.
I'm picking Goth. I'm picking Goth in the first match. I'll say
Okay.
it.
Yes.
I mean, coming off that performance against Mercy, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
He has kind of
Yeah,
proven
He
Goth as
definitely,
well
he
that
definitely
he's,
had the best warfare.
yeah, he's stronger with 1 RP Goth than he is with 2. It seems anyway, as well.
Maybe.
Yeah. Ned and Finn on the other hand, shit. So who knows?
Both trash. You're absolutely right.
Absolute garbage. Yeah.
Finn just exists to lose in the main event, clearly, so who knows anymore.
Goth takes that one, and I think Vaughn's going to retain against Nichols just because I think Vaughn is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll be fun. I could see Charlie winning for sure, but if I have to put money on it, I feel like I have to stick with Vaughn. How did we come in the predictions for the last Warfare? Who won?
I believe Lane won off the top of my head. And Gator, you picked with Lane, didn't you?
God, I cannot remember. That was a week ago. I've done things since then.
Well, you know what? I mean, you could always just put a ding or a loud X if I'm wrong. So who knows?
Oh yeah, give me more work. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Cool.
I give you work with love.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I picked Ned to win, and I'm pretty sure I picked Mercy to win, so I was 50-50 there. I don't remember who I picked out of Nichols and Finn.
You picked
Lane,
Nichols, and you actually predicted the Supercontinental title match after that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, you're right. Now I recall. So yeah, 2 out of 3, that ain't bad. R.I.P. Meatloaf.
I thought I thought all three of you, including Lane, chose a gorilla to win.
I think we all picked a gorilla to win.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all picked a gorilla to win.
Maybe if we saw an opening ring bell, maybe we could have had the gorilla win.
At the end of the day, didn't the gorilla really win?
Yeah, he is
No.
free.
He got freedom. He got freedom.
He's
He
free
won
from
his
the
freedom.
clutches of Lane and the corporation.
Yeah, freedom help do to me. I helped him with that.
Okay, so all three of us, apart from Ned, are the winners here because we chose the gorillas to win, and he is
Yes.
free now.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, so all three of us
Damn
win.
it.
Ned loses. Done.
So true. So true.
Maybe.
So now-
Well, so that's it for Warfare. That's the Warfare results, and the next Warfare coming, you said, is from Dallas, right?
Mhm.
So we'll see.
Yes.
We'll have to come back to that later in the month. But let's get to Savage. So
Yes.
this is the most recent show that went up just the other day, at the time of this recording, and this was from Las Vegas, correct, Maverick?
Yes, for the T-Mobile Arena, we go from the black and red to the white and gold, and we have on this show going top and down, really quick. We have Schism versus Centurion. We have HGH and Frankenfury, Tommy Slovino's boys, versus Jenny Mist and Elijah Martin. We have an elimination fatal four-way match between Ryan Keto, the Celt, John Maddison Jr., and Buster Gloves. We have a number one contenders match for the.
That would be the Celt.
The Celt.
I thought I did say Celt. My bad.
No.
But after that, we have a number one contenders match for the television championship between Isaiah King and Angelica Vaughn. We have Mark Flynn in his first contest after Relentless going up against Marv. We have Atara Themus versus Bam Miller for the Extreme Championship. And we have Dick Powers versus Michael Graves in a television championship match where Gravy cannot touch Dick Powers at all, lest he be disqualified.
That is such a wonderful
wild.
Yeah, I've got some fucking choice words to say about that when we get to it as well.
That'll be wonderful. But as you can see, I mean, Savage obviously has a stacked card compared to what we're seeing on Warfare, and we were discussing that a little bit before the podcast. So we've got some decisions to make, guys. I mean, the times are changing. The burden of writing multiple RPs is difficult for a lot of people of that now in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2022. So we might see some changes to the lineup. We might have to combine these two brands. We might have to just tweak some things here and there. I don't know. I would love to hear from everybody out there listening what they think of a good resolution to that is, because it's kind of unbalanced, right? It's not really a fair workload to have one show with like 2 matches and then another show with 10. We're trying to keep things kind of equal, but that's where we're at right now.
Hopefully, sort it out soon. But to kick us off here for Savage, we start in the ring with the 2 general managers for Savage. Yes, 2 general managers, Jonathan Barrows and a newcomer to the scene, Liam Desmond, head of the Department of the Video Archives, coming out to the ring. The 2 introduce themselves, and they bring out, for the first time since Relentless, the XWF Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Dolls. So the fans pop huge for that. And they say their hellos to the XWF universes. They give their thanks, and they give their hopes that the XWF Tag Division will continue to rise and be a very relevant part of the shows as a whole, and hopefully we will see that happen. And afterwards, John Barrows takes the mic again, and he gives a major announcement that next Savage will be the Nightmare on Savage Lane, the Halloween-themed episode featuring not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 title matches. So definitely going to be a can't-miss episode. And Liam Desmond follows up on that by announcing that the stipulation for the tag titles match will be a graveyard brawl. Spooky.
They did the match.
Yes.
They did the monster match.
Yeah, it was a graveyard smash.
They did the mash.
What a match it was.
Finn was jumping in the ring late one night.
Oh my god.
I saw a deadly fright. A literal great surprise.
Oh
Don't take this guy to karaoke night.
Yeah, no.
Not at all.
So we go to our opening contest between Schism and Centurion, 1-on-1. The bell rings, and immediately Centurion speeds up to Schism and hits him with a running knee where tobacco goes flying, and that sets the tone for the entire match as Centurion gets a dominating performance over Schism and manages to pick up, I believe this is victory number 201 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because he did pick up a victory not that long ago. He got number 200, right?
Yep,
So.
correct.
Yep. So props to Centurion for that. Here's hoping he gets another 200 more soon. But yes. Definitely a dominating performance for him. And afterwards, Ryan Keto makes his own first appearance since Relentless as he comes down to the ring, gives his regrets about what happened in the Universal Championship match, but more importantly, talks about Chris Chaos's attack on him after his match. And he calls for Chaos to get a contract so that he may be able to face him one-on-one and give him the proper payback he deserves. So who knows what will be happening there. Afterwards, we come to HGH and Frankenfury versus Jenny Miss, Speak of the Devil, and Elijah Martin. So the two sides have a really good back and forth match. HGH, and Frankenfury, unfortunately, were not able to overcome the impromptu team of Jenny Miss and Elijah Martin, however, as they proved to overcome the more intrinsic chemistry between them, and they got the win. Surprise, surprise. And Elijah Martin, unfortunately, after the match, turned around and ate a spear from Chris Chaos, and they sent a message by brutalizing him again and again and again. The police come out along with Orion, Keto, and they managed to somehow escape, actually. Surprise, surprise, again. And they are now on the run. Who knows where Chaos will be seen next, but we know that Jenny will be seen next, Savage at least. And we'll be getting to that soon.
Wait, is Ryan Keto a policeman?
No.
Like,
Keto
do you have a
came
fake
out
badge? Like, is he like Herschel Walker? Is he just walking around with a fake badge?
I've just got.
He came down to try and help Elijah Martin ward off Chaos and Miss. I do not think
Vinny,
it's a
that makes
bad
sense.
situation. Yeah.
Vinny, if you go out, like, if you're a wrestler and security goes out there to stop somebody from hurting someone, you don't become a security guard too. You do understand
Oh my
that,
god,
right?
what a great fucking gimmick, though. I would love that so much.
That would be pretty
Yo.
fucking great.
Policeman.
Oh god. As well,
Think about it, Ryan. Think about it, Ryan.
It'd be
You
great.
could work it into your story. Just
So-
constantly running down to the ring to break up segments.
I have an idea as well. I kind of think that Chris Chaos and the Little Gorilla are in cahoots.
No,
my.
Maybe they did. You know, we've never seen him in the room at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm
That's
saying.
He's
We've
not
never seen him
wrong.
in the
He's
same
not
place at the same
wrong.
time.
Absolutely not
Hmm.
wrong.
Hmm.
So afterwards, we go to the XWF production truck as Finn Coon after the events of Warfare and his loss in the main event. Congratulations on that, Finn. He talks to the production crew. He tries to get some answers as to what happened at Relentless Night 3. Who was the one behind hijacking the PA system? Who said I quit? So, unfortunately,
Oh, sorry. I love this. So Finn is trying to disprove his own win by fucking finding out who did it. Is this a story?
He really wants to get back to where he's losing all the time in the main event. Like, this is
he wants to lose, apparently. He wants to lose, but I
No,
know.
you assholes! I should have lost that match. How dare you?
my career.
It's more so.
I love the implication that the only way Finn Coon could have won a match is if there was foul play.
So it's more so a matter that Finn wants his wins fairly. He does not like cheating. He does not think there is honor in
Okay.
cheating to win a match. So that is the reason why he is helping Buster Gloves out here. He wants a proper
Did they
win.
find any information? All you have to do is ask. Hot Todd Machete is the audio visual guy for the XWF.
Well,
He would know.
Unfortunately, Todd was out doing his own business as he was not present in the production truck, but maybe
Oh,
Finn might be able
damn
to
it,
see
Todd.
him soon. Yeah. Unfortunately, the suits were not talking. They might have gotten paid off. They might have gotten threatened. Who knows? But Finn did not take it lightly as he stormed out and punched one of the feeds as he went out. So hurt his hand there. But yeah, hopefully he finds his answers along with Buster Gloves soon.
Finn was trying to disprove his own win and then hurt his hand on a fucking inanimate object.
I mean, if you punch a feed and it breaks, I mean, that's going to hurt your hand, is it not? Because of all the shards.
We're not arguing that.
No.
We just find it amusing
I
when he's so
know.
lost.
He's so mad that he won a match that he broke $1,000 camera.
He just wants a proper win. But yeah.
Oh,
Wild
God.
stuff. Wild stuff.
This is the best storyline. This is so good.
So I think it's really great of Finn Coon that he would help an XWF legend like Buster Gloves take a win off of him.
0-1 Buster Gloves getting a helping hand.
Speaking of Buster Gloves, the man with the greatest name in all of the XWF, his match is next, the Fatal 4-Way between him, Ryan Keto, the Celt, and John Maddison Jr. And Ryan Keto, the last one out to the ring, and it's a very quickly turning into a brawl as Keto is attacked as soon as the bell starts to ring, and he manages to fend off much of the three people who come after him. And soon, Buster Gloves gets eliminated by Ryan Keto out of nowhere, shock elimination. But that eventually leads into the Celt getting eliminated, unlikely, as he comes flying, as John Maddison Jr., comes flying off the top rope and manages to take down the Celt and gets the pin on him. And then afterwards, it is Ryan Keto versus John Maddison Jr., but Keto comes out of nowhere and hits Maddie with the Heaven's Treasure to force a submission and get the victory. So,
what a good
match.
Great match.
It was a very good match. Very good match.
And of course, I mean, Ryan Keto had to take the W because Blue Lives Matter. And, I support the Shield.
Oh my god.
The policeman, Ryan Keto.
Oh, God.
Great gimmick, Ryan. Just saying. Great gimmick.
It's an amazing gimmick.
Wake it up. You won't regret it.
Big Cosmos Man?
Anime cop Ryan Keto.
So much. It's so much mileage on that. Really is.
We come to the backstage area, and we see Chris Page and Theo Price having a heated argument to the Trilogy versus CCPE. Bam Miller quickly gets involved and pushes Theo on his ass as things are getting physical. But out of nowhere, Jason Cash comes back and proves himself once again as he takes the fight to Bam Miller, saying, "Fuck this brick, fuck this little bit of a bitch who represents him." And security comes in, and they manage to break it up by tasering both Miller and Cash. And tensions are building once again, unfortunately. But hate to see it.
Was Ryan Keto there to help security?
He was not help security.
I was almost about to say it.
I know. All right, honest to God, it was one of those moments where I knew one of the three of us were going to say it, and I needed to get in first.
But no, no. Obviously, CCP, there's always going to be some friction, not only with Theo, but with Ned, especially with Jason. So it's going to be fun to see where that comes, where that goes, I should say. At least for somebody like me who is going to have to deal with the dirty part of it.
Well,
For sure.
You're the trash man. You're the garbage man.
Oh, another new gimmick. Oh my God, what if we turn the Trilogy just into working class gimmicks?
There you go.
That's awful.
And I will tell you right now that Duke the Dumpster Drosy had just as good of a hairdo as AJ Styles.
This is true. I mean, we got Policeman Ryan Keto, we have Garbage Man Ned K, and I think Jason Cash would be the perfect post office worker to round out this trilogy here.
No,
it's like a really sad Village People.
I'm pretty sure Jason Cash is just a hobo that we help around.
No, he works in the cash register.
He's a clerk. Okay.
Ryan Keto, policeman. Ned K, trash man. Jason Cash, unemployed.
Together, our force combined, we are the Trilogy.
The American economy. Oh.
A trilogy.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we come to our next match, the number one contenders match between Isaiah King and Angelica Vaughn. The two of them going head-to-head. Once again, another very back-and-forth match. Vaughn trying to kick King's head off practically and really targeting that leg too. But she really brought the fight to him. But alas, King at the last moment manages to reverse the Vaughnimous kick into the Guillotine of Destruction and manages to lock that in for the submission. Vaughn taps out, and Isaiah King stamps his name as the next number one contender for the television championship. Ooh!
Wow! I'm impressed. I really am.
Yeah, that's a really good match. Really good RPs as well from both of them. Like I said last time as well, I don't know much about Isaiah King, but fucking he's really good. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, his prior stuff,
Dan
when he was in the
Imperial.
XWF before, Danny Imperial was always really, really good. So, seeing he's picking up right where he left off.
Oh.
Exactly. Love to see that.
Mhm.
So we come from that to our next match. Mark Flynn versus Marth. And definitely a battle of the crazy men here as Mark Flynn trying to preach the optimal path, and Marth has nothing he wants to do with that. And I mean, they really took it to each other. I mean, Flynn and Marv just beat the shit out of each other. Flynn tried to basically yank Marv's arm out of his socket, and eventually it ended up with Marv being sent into the Fujiwara armbar, trying to crawl his way to the ropes. He almost got it, but Mark Flynn just managed to bring him back into the ring, reapply the armbar, and Marv, in a last ditch, knowing that he was not going to make the ropes, managed to flip off Mark Flynn, and he passed out. So really, really just tried his best to show some heart and just win, but wasn't enough. Mark Flynn got the win.
That's a good way to
Great
lose, honestly.
Great match as well.
It was really entertaining. I mean, honestly.
It's
Well,
it's still so weird. Even in a non-title setting, it's strange just to see the uni champ go on like third from the top. But
We did have 2 title matches going on though, so
no, I get it. I get it. It's just imagine like waiting 10 years to win the Universal Championship, and then your next booking you're lower than Dick Powers.
Whoa, what's that supposed to mean?
I said,
everybody
Mark,
would be lower than Dick Powers.
well, Mark Flynn is still king of the mid card, so maybe that'll be being brought up soon.
that's true. Another great gimmick.
Yes, very much so.
Come to the
backstage,
podcast for your RP ideas, folks.
He's here all week. So we go backstage. Buster Gloves is nursing his wounds after the hellacious loss that he endured to Ryan, Keto, and the others in that fatal 4-way match. When Finn Coon comes to the backstage area,
Use your win.
the Chronicles of the Lost continues, and the two briefly talk, reaffirmed their status for having a truce after they had some words in Buster Gloves' RMP in the concourse of the arena earlier. But they reaffirmed their status, and Finn says that he will be moving to security next to try and get some answers next Warfare, so who knows what he might find there.
Ryan Keto.
Keto. Oh,
The
Well,
police
Keto took the
went right on Keto.
damn it.
Well, the head of security for the XWF is Littlefeather, and also, Vinny Lane has his own security detail, which is headed up by Tommy Gunn. So I don't know which one he'll be talking to, but
Well, you will soon find out. But Buster Gloves says that he will be there with Finn, and the two make an arrangement to go to them together on Warfare. So, yeah, we'll have a follow-up. So afterwards, we come to our next match: Atara Themus versus Bam Miller. Once again, the anticipation level is off the charts. Bam Miller trying to right himself after his loss to James Raven, and what better way to do that than by beating his wife and taking the silver title for himself?
Oh my god.
No. We need rival police out here. We need a police.
say it like that.
Honest
Miller
truth.
was so upset about losing to James Raven that he had to go home and beat his wife.
Whoa.
Why
Oh.
would you say that?
He had to go in the ring and beat his wife. The
Honest
correction.
truth, is it not?
Pronouns, pal.
Yeah.
That was rough.
It's bad as well that it's named after a beer, so like you gotta
Miller
change it up
time.
better.
Miller.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, Ben Miller cannot be cracking a Miller Lite in victory for this match because this was a very brutal affair. The two of them spilling out of the ring, steel chairs were being thrown, barricade shots. Bam Miller crashed himself, unfortunately, on the metal barricade as he tried to hit his knee, and it failed because Atara ducked under it. Just really brutal displays here. But Atara managed to pull off the comeback after bleeding from her skull profusely, and she managed to retain the Extreme Championship. Once again,
Nice.
just very
Yeah.
vicious match.
You love
Great
to
job,
see
Atara.
just totally take control of the match from Bam Miller. who's about to have to pay some very serious fees. You could even say a Miller fortune due to domestic charges.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Man, you love to see it. No days off for Addie T. Right into the
Exactly.
defenses. Savage defense checked off the list. Great job to her. And I know obviously she's gonna go ahead and get right back in the ring. She's not shying away from defending this title. So that's awesome to see.
Of course, trying to check up those Savage defenses nice and early into her reign. And of course, once again, Addie smashed.
Addie smash.
Addie Smash.
So
Addie
we
smash.
go from that
And that's
to our
it for
main event.
Warfare, yeah, right? We're done.
No, we got one more match, unfortunately. We have Michael Graves versus the champion, Dick Powers, television championship on the line. Graves cannot physically touch Powers or else he will lose. How did Michael Graves manage to overcome such a stipulation and try bringing the fight here to Dick Powers? Why, he had a tight green jumpsuit on that showed off his crotch and everything, and he managed to use that as a technicality to technically not touch Dick Powers.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
He green screened him.
Oh God!
It's fucking stupid. This is typical Michael Graves behaviour. And it's fucking dumb. He did touch Dick. Just because he wore a suit doesn't mean he didn't touch him. Oh, this is terrible.
Yes.
I'm going straight to Vinny over this.
Yes,
For Dick Powers, this is what we like to call a mastermind loss.
Well done.
technicality.
Thank you.
Apologize to Mastermind, but he doesn't listen to this shit.
Nah.
No, we took that.
He doesn't know how to click play.
But yes, as
I only make fun of people. I want to make a disclaimer. We only tease people because we love all of you. I love Jason. You. Mastermind is great. He's amazing.
How about that? I
Yeah,
like
he's
him.
lovely. He's
Yeah,
alright.
so
he might have 376 confirmed losses, but he is one of the pillars of the XWF.
Yeah, crumbling
Really is,
pillars.
man. He's been in there. He's been in the trenches for a long time.
for a hot minute.
He's
But,
been
yes,
building
to finish
bridges
off-
all his life.
To finish
So
off the
good.
TV title match, Graves actually did have his suit cut up by Dick Powers, and he did touch Dick, but unfortunately the ref was down. He could not see it, and Graves hit the grave consequences on Dick Powers, and the referee came to and counted the 1, 2, 3, and Michael Graves is your new television championship. But unfortunately, he cannot be celebrating for long because there is a hail of boos from the audience as Mark Flynn comes out preaching the optimal path once again, and he power bombs Michael Graves neck first onto the nearby barricade, surely shattering his vertebrae from that blow. And that's how Savage came to a close with the Unity champ on top.
Oh, well, so Graves is taking a little time off. We're not going to book him if he has a broken neck.
About that.
Ah,
So
that seems unfair, but okay.
we have been told that the next Savage card is quote unquote subject to change. And speaking of, it is the Nightmare on Savage Lane. It is the Halloween special super card with not one, not two, not three, but 4 title matches. I will quickly run them all down for you, and we will go over them and talk about what we are sure to expect. So we have Franken Fury versus Ruby in a chainsaw massacre match taking place in the middle of the woods, and on the outside of the ring will be a chainsaw for them to use freely as a weapon, and you can win by a pinfall or submission. Next, we have Finn Coon versus Ryan Keto. Finn surely looking for another loss to his record, in a trick-or-treat match. So it'll be taking place in a large suburban neighborhood. You can walk up to various houses and receive tricks or treats, and obtaining 3 golden candy bars from houses will allow you to go for pinfalls or submissions. And next, this is the reason why we say the cards are subject to change, because we have Michael Graves defending the television championship in the triple threat match for the television championship versus HGH and Isaiah King. And right now, he can choose a Halloween slasher-related match stipulation in his first promo, but if he's unable to compete, then it will be changed to a singles match between HGH and Isaiah King. So will he be able
I
to
see.
defend his title? We're not sure yet, but we'll hopefully find out soon.
Yeah, so let's stop and talk about those three. So
Yeah.
I was wondering how HGH got involved in there because we just saw Isaiah King win the right to be the next contender for the TV title, so that made sense. So HGH is kind of like a lady in waiting, like in case Graves can't go.
Yes. So can
Okay.
go just be a regular triple threat match. Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense because we did see a bunch of just shattered vertebrae.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, 2 weeks is a long time to recover. I mean, it happens.
All
And
of
then-
2 weeks indeed.
And we
Yeah.
have Finn Coon getting ready to once again lose to the best, like he likes to do. So that'll be a fun one. And I mean, Fury versus Ruby. I mean, honestly, like it's awesome to see Ruby branch out a little bit because Ruby's been Anarchy exclusive forever. And when she briefly comes out onto the other brands, I mean, everybody loves Ruby. And I honestly feel like Ruby's best stuff, non Centurion related stuff, is always when she works with Fury or Vita or one of these characters. So I think that'll be really, really cool. I'm rooting for Ruby. Right there.
Same.
That song is rad. Like y'all should listen to that theme song because it's really good.
It's always banana lime time. I'm just saying. So I'm pulling for Ruby. I love it whenever she gets off of Anarchy because I watch the other shows.
Okay.
You don't get to say shit because you forgot it too. So you don't get to say a damn thing. Anyway, yeah. Ruby is absolutely fantastic. She always causes barn burners on fucking Anarchy. She'll hop onto Savage and then just deliver some crazy match. I know these two are going to push each other to some interesting places. So I'm excited for it. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm pulling for Michael Graves. I hope he's okay. I don't think he's necessarily going to win, but nobody wants to break their neck due to Mark Flynn.
I hope he's broke his neck due to Matt Flynn.
I don't think anybody wants to break their neck, period, let alone a Mark Flynn, but here we are.
I mean,
Well-
Graves is such a trooper. Graves is such like a stalwart of the XWF. I'm so happy to see him with a belt. But I also know, the guy is already like figuring out ways to lose because I think he loves booking himself to be a screw up. But I don't know. Like we'll see. HGH is a talented guy too. Is mostly Anarchy stuff. Has done really, really well. So he could be a sleeper. But Isaiah King, we just saw how strong Isaiah King is. So I mean, I don't know who wins that match. That's going to be a good one.
My heart says Gravy to win. Honestly, against all odds, but I don't think he'll do it. My brain though is saying Isaiah King is going to go out there and he is going to win the television championship. We'll see how that shakes up. But obviously, as you said, all three men very, very talented. Will 2 weeks be enough to recover from a broken neck and shattered vertebrae? We will soon find out. And obviously, my match too. Again, Finn wanting to face the best. Do I think I win? Not necessarily, but I think Finn wants to lose. But as we're going over here, but we'll see how that pans out.
I feel like if he wins, he'll just immediately throw a tantrum and demand to lose.
No, ref, that free count was too quick. Do it again.
Finn goes backstage after winning a match. That doesn't work for me, brother.
The ultimate selfless act. Let's hope no shenanigans get involved. Otherwise, that may happen. But we come to our next three matches. We have the tag champions, the extreme champion, and the universal champion, all defending their belts in the top three matches of the show. We have the Midnight Dolls, Vita Valentine and Dolly Waters, versus Angelica Vaughn and John Maddison Jr. in, once again, the Graveyard Brawl match. Fighting the abandoned graveyard is whatever you tend to advantage.
How did that team come to exist? That doesn't make sense to me.
Paul Buchan.
Don't have Liam.
Like I know Angie Vaughn and I know John Maddison, and that don't make sense.
Something's wrong here, but John Maddison Jr. is a sweetheart. He's not like his father, so
Yeah.
this impromptu tandem might work out, but we shall soon see.
Okay. I'll
we
trust you
come-
guys.
Yeah, we come to the triple threat match now for the XWF Extreme Championship. We have Atara Themus defending against Marth and Jenny Mist on an Extreme House on Haunted Hill match. So all opponents will be starting in the basement of the Extreme Haunted House, and the first to reach the roof and claim the title hanging there will be the victor, and the other two may never escape.
Ooh.
Nightmare on my street.
Okay.
That was it's from the 80s. Never mind.
And then to cap that off with the main event, we have the Universal Championship match between Mark Flynn and Dick Powers in an Escape from Crystal Lake match. So the match will begin at Crystal Lake in the dead of night on the abandoned campgrounds. Mrs. Voorhees will rise and attempt to attack both competitors at the match, and only one person may win by fixing the broken truck hidden within the campgrounds, riding it to a designated lookout point and claim victory. So
Who do we think will win?
Well, I mean, Mark Flynn versus Dick Powers. That's a beautiful match, honestly. Dick Powers slid into a uni title match by losing a title. Flynn murdered the TV champion and now has to defend against the former champion.
Indeed.
Flynn's unstoppable. I gotta pick Flynn to retain there.
I remember it was either last podcast episode or the one before that. Gator went on record saying that one of the very few people who'd be able to get him to give his best in a match would be Mark Flynn. So we're gonna see what that entails. And honestly, I think that he can do it. But my heart is saying Mark Flynn for this.
The best Dick Powers is very, very good. So I don't know.
Indeed.
We could see an upset.
I think Dick rises to the occasion.
Okay. Well, so obviously Dick is in this uni title match because the GMs and staff and everyone know they screwed up and Dick Powers should have won against Gravy. Obviously.
Yep.
Alright, so completely out of character right now. I'm not going to win against Matt Flynn. Flynn is just too good for me. But could you fucking imagine if I win? How funny would that be?
Do it.
How funny would that be if I actually win? I'm not going to. I know I'm not. It's Matt Flynn. But
we would just have to pretend we didn't have a Universal Champion until you lost it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't advertise that. Who's your top guy? Don't talk. Never mind.
Who's our top champion? Well, it's redacted, obviously.
It was Matt Flynn. It's like, well, who's the top champion now? Well, it was Matt Flynn. But
yeah, it was Mark Flynn.
Yeah.
It was Mark Flynn.
It was Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
I think Dick Powers is going to release the Kraken.
Ooh.
Annihilate Mark Flynn.
The tidal wave.
Oh, by the way, I chose to write this match as well because 100% Dick Powers is going to try and fuck Mrs. Voorhees.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She's dead. She doesn't have a head. You know what? I don't want to know.
Yeah. I'll spare you the details.
He only has a head.
You don't need head to give head.
That's it for Savage, though, right? That's the Halloween Savage. That's looking really solid, man. That's a strong card.
Yes, very entertaining show. We shall see how that goes when we go over to the 29th for the Nightmare on Savage Lane. And that is both cards we were going to go over, I believe.
Well,
right?
we actually we neglected one because we did have Thursday Night Anarchy that took place on October 6th.
What?
So we discussed the card last time we were all together. So I feel like we should probably run through it. I can run through it real quick if you don't have it in front of you, Mav.
I do not have it in front of me. You are welcome to.
Okay, so we
I can't
had.
seem to find it.
You never. I know you can't. Just like you can't find your dick. Harrison, New Jersey, is.
Vinny, he can find his dick. It's in a Universal title match.
I don't even need to give my own comebacks. I got Ned for it.
You got Ned fucking K. I beat a gorilla.
So he's talking about beating a gorilla. Peter, get on this, man.
This is why we can't have nice folks.
I'm so sorry.
So So out emanating from Harrison, New Jersey, we had Anarchy taking place. This had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 7 matches on this Anarchy. Not bad. Had a couple debuts. We had HGH versus Franken Fury, which they were not thrilled about. Dean Wolf took on Lord Rab, kind of, which Lord Rab was not thrilled about. Eric Holland came in and took on the Jessica Anderson. Elijah Martin versus Venom Xavier Lux. We saw Unknown Soldier, fresh off of catching an L against Centurion, now up against Ruby. And then we had a nice 4-way steel cage match with Big Money Oswald, Jason Cash, Centurion, and Latina Submission Machina. And in the main event, we had Edward and Edward Jr. taking on the Misfits, Chris the Hammer Von Bon and Melanie Crazy Childs. So we had a pretty decent card here, folks.
For sure, very stacked from top to bottom. I mean, honestly, though there might have been some quirks and oddities with how some of the matches ended up. I mean, it was still a very entertaining show from what I read.
Yeah, no, I mean it. God damn it, Gator. Yeah, I mean, look, HGH and Franken Fury are buddies, but they still put on a pretty entertaining little segment there to start off the show. If anybody didn't catch this, they should at least go check out this part because it's excellent stuff. And HGH did end up taking the victory over Franken Fury, but it wasn't what you would expect. So good stuff there. Dean Wolf, brand new to the brand, brand new to the XWF, came in, had a nice match with Lord Rab, came up on top there.
Strong showing.
Eric Holland taking on the Jessica Anderson in an Extreme Rules match. Also strong showing from Holland, taking out Anderson. Poor Anderson just can't seem to get it together on the blue brand. She does okay on Madness, but man, the girl just can't catch a break.
And I believe we had a special guest appearance after that match, did we not?
Yeah, interestingly enough, right after that, coming out to help out the Jessica Anderson and hopefully maybe get her on her winning ways was none other than Universal Champion Mark Flynn. So
preaching
obviously
the optimal path.
The optimal path, and it was probably the best opportunity that Jez Anderson will see on Anarchy. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. Then we saw Elijah Martin and Xavier Lux go at it, and this was a good match and a really good victory for one Venom Xavier Lux. So, Elijah Martin's a former Anarchy champion. Everybody thought he probably had it in the bag, but Xavier pulled it out. Really good match there. I know I liked it. But I think one of the things everybody was mostly looking forward to was probably Unknown Soldier versus Ruby, because that's such a clash of characters and styles.
For sure.
Yeah, so that was a fun match as well. Eventually, after a couple of Ruby cutters, Ruby actually picked up the win over verified bona fide XWF legend Unknown Soldier. So back-to-back L's for Soldier, which hardly ever happens, and against Centurion and Ruby. That's kind of interesting.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
They are one of the biggest power couples in the Fed. So
yeah,
I don't think there's any. Oh.
It's rare that love lasts in the world of XWF wrestling. So
and it's an actual healthy relationship too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like a Lifetime movie, really.
Yeah, it's not like fucking Chris Chaos and Jenny Mist. We're talking about a real relationship that doesn't involve manipulating your partner throughout the better half of a year, which is always good.
Oh, you were about to say Jenny Mist wasn't real, which is a totally different podcast.
Well, right now with Chris Chaos not having a contract and Jenny Mist being the breadwinner, it's all about manipulate, mansplain, and male wife for Chris Chaos.
I like it. We had a 4-way that came up after that, and this was big. And we mentioned it earlier, guys, but Centurion was at victory number 199 coming into Anarchy, and he comes in here and he wins a huge 4-way cage match against some heavy hitters. This is a really cool match. I actually wrote this one. I hope everybody reads it. Centurion, he got a nice bright yellow 200 out of it, and that's it. That was all he got.
Yeah.
Celebration. That's better than nothing.
He's probably the only person with 200 XWF wins, and for his efforts, we'll love him forever. Here's a number 200
Good job.
up on the Tron.
Vinny, as the booker, couldn't you, like, I don't know, set up like a celebration for this XWF legend who has just gotten this title?
I'm not gonna lie. I was about to go on vacation. I whipped this show together. But I think it still came out well. If I had more time, I hadn't even thought of the 200th win thing really until we talked about it on the last podcast recording. I probably would have done something cool, but I just hadn't even thought about it and hadn't planned on it, and I didn't have an idea. I didn't know what to do.
Totally fair. I'm just busting your balls like in kayfabe about it. I think what you did was really sweet, and obviously, when it comes to honoring Centurion for being not only just one of the oldest guys, not only one of the most consistent handlers in the game, but also sticking with the XWF for so long. I don't want to say loyalty because I think that's a little unfair. It can sound kind of pretentious. It's just he's chosen to put his time here. Yes, he's been in a ton of other places, ton of other feds as well, and all of them are equally valid. It just means something very special to this federation, to the XWF.
It really did sound pretentious.
Well, yeah.
I think that's to be expected at this point.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ned K.
It is. It is the Ned K, pretentious Ned K, pretentious Ped Pay.
Ped Pay?
That was terrible. All right, so the main event for Anarchy. So,
I love how I've heard you fucking sling out so many bangers, like just improv Mastermind's 200th loss, like on the top of your head, and then the best you can come up with right now is fucking Pretorius Ped Pay or whatever the fuck.
What?
Oh my
right.
Garbage.
You took my bullshit and made yourself look stupider over it by getting it wrong. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Okay.
Classic JL.
It was all part of the plan. You walked right into it. Okay, so the main event. The main event for Anarchy was Anarchy champion Edward and Edward Jr., but not the same Edward Jr. from before. If you recall, there was a previous Edward Jr., but Edward Jr. is back on the island. So this
Junior
is
the second.
This is Edward Jr. 2. This is Edward Jr. 2.
Edward the third?
No, it's Edward 2. Edward Jr. 2.
I believe in his latest RP you said it was Junior the second now, so.
Yeah. It's not the third, it's Junior the second. You understand?
Oh my god.
I'm so confused.
My brain is broken.
This is why.
The
This is
Edward
why
lore is
I refuse to believe in Anarchy because of this bullshit.
the Edward lore is really brain wrecking indeed.
I am so upset with Mark Flynn proselytizing on this show because it is the devil's work.
Well, anyway, the Edwards won.
Yeah.
They won by submission. The Misfits didn't put up much of a fight. So Edward 1 and Edward 3, a.k.a. Edward Jr. 2, pulled out the victory. But that wasn't the end of the show because, and you guys would love this, because your girl, Lexi Gold, showed up after the main event. Yeah.
Love to see
So,
it.
I
I'd
mean,
love to see
she
it.
comes out, and Elijah Martin, her ex-boyfriend, also shows up. And there's some tension there. So, I mean, maybe you're not the president of the fan club. I mean, Elijah Martin, he was number one on that list for a long time. And that's how Anarchy went off the air. And there's rumor, actually, that after the camera stopped rolling, Finn Coon lost to somebody.
The post-show dark match. Hate to see that.
It's a good show. I hope everybody looks at it. I hope everybody checks out Anarchy, because we got another one coming up in a few days, coming out of Chicago, Illinois, and once again, way too many matches on here, which is why the show is usually on Friday or Saturday.
Fortunately, I have the card up right here, and I can go down it for everybody who might be listening along and might be interested. So
Let's
we
have
have,
it.
yes, we have starting off the Jessica Anderson versus Dejuan Black. Jessica Anderson trying to potentially get to winning ways after the epiphany Mark Flynn attempted to give her. Dean Wolf versus Franken Fury, obviously going to be a banger of a match. Dean Wolf trying to, stay on top and, with a second win here potentially Franken Fury. Trying to make Tommy Slovenia proud. And then we have Eric Holland versus Elijah Martin in a Singapore Cane match. Definitely going to be a deadly match for sure. And then
Explain the Singapore cane. What is the Singapore cane?
Singapore Cane is a kendo stick. It'll have a trash can, though, in each corner full of the kendo sticks. Even more painful because of the Singapore Cane. So we'll be seeing that on full display. And afterwards, we have a number one contenders tournament. 8 men, 4 matches, and it's going to definitely be an entertaining affair. We have HGH fresh off his victory against Franken Fury and potentially cementing himself in line for a television championship match, or championship reign, rather, in the coming days, going against Venom Xavier Lux. We have Lord Rab going up against Ruby. We have Latina Submission Machina going up against Unknown Soldier. Another clash of styles, another clash of personalities. Definitely going to be entertaining to see. And we have Jason Cash versus Centurion. So that's what's definitely going to be the one I'm looking out for. That's going to be really entertaining to see. And then we had the main event here, a rematch from a few shows ago. It is Edward, the strongest champion, versus Mastermind, round 2, Anarchy Championship on the line. Definitely going to be something you can't miss.
I mean, Gator will miss it, but I mean, the rest of us, we wouldn't want to miss it because it definitely exists and definitely takes a lot of effort to create.
Lane, please stop gaslighting the audience.
Yeah,
It exists. I'm looking at it.
The card is up right now on XWF99.com, so I mean, you could potentially get it wrong.
The deadline is Wednesday night, and we have 1 RP posted. So once again, big shout out and big thank you to the Anarchy roster for ruining my Wednesday nights.
See, the only reason you get mad at Gator is because secretly you wish Anarchy didn't exist.
It's my private hell that I have given myself.
You made your
But
bed.
no,
Now you're
I like the brand. I think it's great. I wish I could get more folks involved with it, but then it would be even more work, and I would need somebody's help. So it is what it is.
It's a great show. You love to see it. This past week was incredibly strong. This upcoming week, I'm super excited for that Cash Centurion match, and it's an exciting time to be on Anarchy, to be an Anarchy fan. And just this one final thing, if Elijah Martin wanted to be a part of the Lexi Gold fan club, he could have phoned us. He didn't. He chose to be your boyfriend.
Yeah, he just tried. He forced his way in. He didn't go through the correct channels.
Exactly.
Wireless.
Yeah,
he has Cricket Wireless, guys. He can't call you. I'm looking forward to because I'm looking forward to Dejuan Black because he's brand new and I want to see what Dejuan Black is all about.
Is it Dejuan? I thought it was Dwayne.
Yeah. No, that's The Rock.
Oh.
This is Dejuan.
Dejuan.
And yeah, I mean, I think that'll be. I always get excited when somebody new shows up. So hopefully, it's worth all the hype. We're also going to see. And it's funny because like you pointed out, we got HGH who's going to be here. He, it won't be by the time this show airs, but he could be the next television champion. You've got Ruby also involved. Obviously, Ruby's always there. She could be the next XWF Tag Team champion. So I mean, there's a lot of crossover stuff here. There's going to be some fun RPs to read, all of them at 3 a.m. Thursday morning.
Sunday morning. Let's be more accurate.
I love how you hate how much work you're giving yourself, and you've compensated that by making a brand new show that you control as well. Madness.
I should just be spending time with my family, but this is what I do.
Oh, go
See,
great. That's great.
I'm convinced that the whole reason Vinny Lane made Madness is just in case I ever become a GM. That's what he's going to use to punish me.
Yeah, check your
I
DMs,
just
bro.
gotta. Yeah. Oh. God.
You just got promoted.
Oh. Fuck.
What's the HR? Head of HR?
Well, who is it right now? We used to have Jane, C-word, who is no longer with the company.
Oh my god! Holy fuck! I didn't know that was a character.
Now you
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, I don't think we have an HR department at the moment. That's probably
We're
why
not
there's so many
hiring.
problems. Probably what all the issues are. That's why we got away with wrestling gorilla.
Yeah, get on in, Ned. Sort
Although I don't know if I don't think a gorilla falls under the auspices of human relations. So I don't know.
we need HR and AR, Gator. It's 2022.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we already
Gorillas share
talked,
98%.
so maybe he can
DNA.
help out with the animal relations department.
Oh yeah. This is a terrible podcast. I just want you guys to
It really
know.
is.
We love you all, though.
Really bad. We're not at our best, but that's all right. That's it. That's all we got for you. We went over Savage, we went over Warfare, and we went over Anarchy. We fit it all in there, folks. So tune in. Make sure we don't miss anything. We got some great cards coming up next, and of course, at the end of the month, we do have Madness coming up as well. So that'll be fun. Anybody have any final thoughts for the audience at large here?
I really hope Coon doesn't lose again.
He just did. He actually just did. I just checked.
Just like
Yeah.
wake up for the day. Oh man, another Finn Coon loss.
Yeah, it's a house show in Poughkeepsie, and Mark Flynn just defeated Finn Coon.
Where are all these
that
details coming from?
Oh, Fincon just sitting at home, just really happy. It's like, oh, another loss under the belt. Just chalks it off.
A job well done.
Someone's gonna do it.
I just want to say, if you didn't like this episode, we are sorry. We are all out of gas in the tank. At least I am. And on that note,
Oh, is that for me?
Fuck you,
Anyway,
Michael Graves.
thank you, dude.
Michael Graves, get well soon. I miss you, buddy.
That's just it at this point.
Oh yeah.
I purchased a brand new gorilla. He'll be here tomorrow.
No!
Ned's demoted to opening match status again once again against a new gorilla.
And eat shit, Ghost Tank. There you go.
Thank you.
It's a new podcast, a new tagline. He doesn't have to fuck himself anymore. He can eat that shit.
That's what I get for trying to do a segue.
Oh, bye everyone.
Bye.
I love all three of you. Get some sleep, Gator.